Welcome to PFP at Home. My name is Madeline Enriquez and I'm a CSA shareholder here at the Poughkeepsie Farm Project. Live in the city of Poughkeepsie and also a small business owner here as well. I'm excited to share this recipe with you. It is the Latinx tomato salsa with sweet corn and black beans. I hope you enjoy. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel.
Tomatoes are part of the nightshade family, which includes veggies like peppers and eggplants. They love hot, hot weather, so that's why on the farm they are growing inside this big, high tunnel. Which part of the plant is the tomato? Root, stem, leaf, flower, or fruit? Yep, you got it. It's the fruit. Tomatoes originated in Central and South America. They were grown by Aztec and Incan farmers as many as 1,300 years ago. The ingredients you'll need for this recipe are 3 medium tomatoes, 2 ears fresh sweet corn, 1 small bunch cilantro, 1 garlic clove, 1 lime, a 15-ounce can of black beans, a bag of tortilla chips, and some salt. The tools you will need for this recipe are an adult or kid chef knife, a large spoon, can opener, cutting board, and medium bowl. Optional tools are scissors, a grater, and a juicer.
Let's get started making this salsa by working with the tomatoes first. So we want to remove the seeds from the tomatoes, and that's going to make our salsa less watery. You can use the adult chef knife or the kid chef knife. I'm going to use the kid chef knife to show you that this can be done. So flip your tomato over so the stem part is facing down and cut it in half, and then cut those halves again. So that is making quarters. So to cut all the tomatoes into quarters. Great job. So once you have everything in quarters, you're going to remove the stem where the stem attaches to the tomato. So just cut around that stem. I like cutting downward instead of toward myself, especially if I'm using a sharp knife. So just cut down and slice off where you see that stem attached to the tomato, and maybe any other hard pieces that you see or brown pieces that you see. And go all the way through all of the tomatoes. And if you do have compost, you can compost these tomato scraps. Just a few more. Okay, great. So I'm going to compost these tomato scraps. And we have our beautiful mix of tomatoes. Did you know the tomatoes could come in so many beautiful colors? Not only red tomatoes, but we have yellow, we have green with some red stripes. Lots of different kinds of tomatoes. So next step is to remove the seeds. So each of these quarters has seeds inside, and you're going to use your finger and just be ready. It's going to feel a little mushy and a little wet, and you're going to remove those seeds. And it might be a tomato sprinkler. Be careful. Good job. So get out all these seeds, and you'll see the excess water and seeds is a lot of liquid. So taking out the seeds is going to mean that our salsa is going to not get quite so wet, and it's going to have a tangier flavor from the lime juice that we're putting into it. When you cut a tomato open, you can see there are chambers inside, and some vegetables and fruits actually look like the part of our body that they are helpful for. So tomatoes have chambers like one of our organs. Which of our organs has chambers? Yeah, it's the heart. The heart has chambers. So the lycopene in tomatoes is really good for keeping a healthy heart. So eat a lot of tomatoes in salsa and in sauces, and it'll keep your heart healthy. I composted all of the seeds, and I am going to push some of these tomatoes to one side and now dice the tomatoes. So in order to dice, I'm going to hold the tomato with the claw down on the cutting board and cut into slices. Once I have my slices, I'm going to make strips, something like this, and then turn the strip sideways and cut into smaller dices into a square shape. Great. Go ahead and do all of these tomatoes cut into a dice, and I'll meet you back here for the next step. Next, we need to shuck the corn if it has a husk on the outside. Shucking is really easy. You're just going to start from the top where the silks are and pull downward. Nice, and you're just going to pull off any silks that you see there. And if you want to, you can also wash your corn and then dry it with a towel. Let's do the last one. So you want to put the corn flat against the cutting board, and then you're going to cut just underneath the row of kernels that you see on the side which you cut with. So if that's you're right-handed on this side, your left-handed the opposite side. Then put the flat side down and cut one more time. Great. So you've got it. Just keep putting the flat side down and cut the kernels off. I'm sort of gently sawing back and forth. You could also use a serrated knife for this too. That might be helpful. Beautiful. Great, let's do the next one. So corn is actually the descendant of an ancient grass. Did you know that? It was cultivated from grass in Central America, and it's a very, very old crop. So we have a lot to be grateful for when we eat corn. Finally, we have a bunch of smaller tasks to do. So we need to add garlic, and I'm gonna do that by taking off the peel first, pressing with a knife on top, removing that peel, and you can either grate or you can mince the garlic, whatever's easier for you. If you're using a grater, you just look for the smallest opening on the grater. To me, that's the fastest and simplest way to mince garlic. But if you're quick with a knife, that works as well. Okay, so we've got our garlic, 1 large clove of garlic. You can put in as much garlic as you like though. I've got a delicious lime. I'm gonna roll the lime a couple times, soften it up, then hold it with the claw and slice it in half. If you have a juicer at home, you can use the juicer. I'm just gonna use my fingers and my hand and just squeeze really hard. Got those muscles for a reason. Smell that delicious lime juice. It's so tangy. Okay, beautiful. Last thing we're gonna do is add a can of black beans. And we're going to add some herbs, which is cilantro for this dish. You can use scissors if you have kids at home and you want to use scissors, that's fine. Or you can use a kid's chef knife or an adult chef knife. And I'm including the stems. Cilantro has very tender stems, so you don't need to remove the stems in order to add them to the dish. Great, in goes the cilantro. That's it. So you're gonna give it a stir. Mix all this beautiful summer foods together. Amazing. Okay. And the last thing I want to share with you is when you salt your salsa. You want to salt your salsa right before you're going to serve it, right before you're going to eat it. If you made this in advance and you want to keep it in your fridge, just put it aside and add the salt at the very last minute. And that's because the salt is going to draw out the water from the tomatoes. So if you salt it before you want to serve it, it's going to water down that lime juice and make your salsa a little less tangy or zippy.
Enjoy your salsa with chips, on a taco, or over a veggie burger or a beef burger.
So tell us, did you like this dish? Leave a comment below or post a picture or video on Facebook or Instagram with the hashtag POKfoodpower.